another Generation 2 Plasticon review! Woohoo! Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover more Generation 2. I'm talking Generation 2, I'm talking UK toys. You know, those crazy powered masters. Well, here's Ironhide. Yes, a Generation 2 Ironhide. A lot of people out there is like, oh, well, G2 Ironhide didn't exist. No, this is G2 Ironhide. He did exist. Only in the UK, though. Kids over in the United States didn't get those, and, you know, all over the world kind of didn't get that toy either. Only in the UK they got these guys. But here's Ironhide in his Humvee mode. And he is really, really cool looking. I do like the colors they've actually picked for him because it's an appropriate army camo. Although it has neon green windows, which is hilarious. I do like the fact that he's a very, very chunky toy. He's not a little simple toy that is just really, really thin. This thing actually has some heft to it, and it's a real cool little gimmick when it comes to the whole pullback function. He actually does a lot of stuff in this pullback function. He rolls very well. He's just a very, very well-built toy. I do like the fact that he has all this crazy molded detail, though. Let's take a closer look at this molded detail he's got. He has an entire, like, winch assembly here on the front with some headlights picked out. Not to mention where the exhaust would actually come out here on the hood. And then some more venting. He does happen to have the PM2 right there on his hood. And a nice little camo sticker that says Ironhide. There's those crazy green windows I was telling you about, and then the crazy camo. I mean, this is a really decent camo. I do like this. And then going around here to the very back, he's actually got a lot of the same green for the windows. And then a place here where you possibly could have a license plate if you really wanted one. And not to mention taillight detail. He does happen to have a fuel tank kind of picked out here on both sides here. Little filler caps. And just the detail for the door by itself is just pretty good. It's a very, very well built toy too. I mean, he's pretty solid. This is a difficult toy, honestly, to me. I would think to be able to, you know, have any issues with it breaking. The other cool thing he actually has, he does have Autobot tampoed right here on the back part of the entire truck. And he's got these two guns here. And these guns do peg in pretty well, actually, on him. Right into the two holes on top. So if you didn't want the guns up there, you don't actually have to have them on there. Which is kind of nice. It does happen to have a lot of detail here picked out with the wheels as well. And the funny thing is, the rear tires do have rubber on them, and the front ones don't. The toy was made back in '94, and the tires are still intact. Kind of tells you about, you know, build quality of some toys during the 90s actually held up. It's kind of unfortunate that some newer ones that the rubber doesn't last as long, but it lasts a pretty long time on this one. It does happen to have this big old kind of block here on the back, which, you know, to me, repro labels should make a crazy set for this thing to really, you know, maybe put like a little fuel canister or ammo box or something here, but that's just part of the motor gimmick. That's like I said, I mean, he rolls very, very well. He does have quite a bit of clearance underneath him too, so he's not really going to get caught on much at all. And if you try to roll him backward, it's kind of hard to do because, like I said, he's a motorized toy. But let's quit waffling about this crazy Humvee mode and put him into his robot, shall we? Here's Ironhide in his robot mode, and he looks really, really cool. I do happen to like how chunky he looks. He kind of reminds me of Johnny Five from the old Short Circuit movie. I do like the fact that he does have a decent little pullback gimmick that kind of makes him rock back and forth as if he's kind of walking or marching along. It's kind of funny considering, you know, he is an army vehicle. The other cool thing I do like about him, though, is his robot mode. Although a lot of it is completely black on the torso, you can tell there's a lot of sculpting in there, though. He does happen to have gold eyes on the head sculpt, which is kind of neat. And, you know, I don't mind the fact that, you know, he is kind of a chunky little dude. He does happen to have good up and down movement with his arms. His arms do kind of lock in place just a little bit, which is kind of nice because, you know, you want a bit of tension on these arms here, especially to be able to, you know, put him in certain modes. And he does have soft detents, so it's kind of nice to be able to position a gun in and not actually fall. Like I said, I know he does look kind of dorky, but I don't mind that. He's actually kind of funny and does remind me of Johnny 5. Another cool thing he can do is you can put his guns kind of at his sides if you want to, or you can put his guns on his hands. Now, there really isn't any other place to place them other than those. It would have been cool to see maybe a couple small holes here, maybe where the headlights were, maybe just holes there, so that way you can just put the guns there on his sides here for shoulder cannons, but I don't actually mind it. It's kind of cool. He does happen to have, you know, a couple holes here in the chest, but they're not quite really big enough for the guns to actually holster in. And there's no real place here on the back either to put the guns. So it's like I said, he only has a couple places for gun placement. But he is a very, very successful little robot. I do like him a lot. And just these toys to me don't get as much attention as a lot of the newer stuff does. It's a really, really interesting toy and a really cool kickback considering, you know, this is Ironhide in Generation 2. Anyhow, this has been Plasticon. This has been yet another Generation 2 review, and I'll see you guys around because I have plenty more coming your guys' way. That's it for now. Bye!